In a stunning development that has sent tremors through South Africa's political arena, former President Jacob Zuma has once again emerged as the focal point of an intensifying political storm. Speaking with open defiance and clear purpose, Zuma has signaled that he has no intention of fading quietly into the background. Instead, he is presenting himself as a destabilizing force, one intent on shifting the existing balance of power. This unfolding moment raises a risky yet compelling question: is Zuma driven by personal payback, calculated political maneuvering, or the start of a profound political realignment? Viewers are urged to subscribe and enable notifications as we unpack what this turning point could mean for the ANC, opposition parties, and the broader future of South African governance. His words have reverberated nationwide, reinforcing the reality of the ANC slipping below the 50% mark. Whether interpreted as a promise, a threat, or a strategic challenge, the statement has landed with undeniable force. For a party that once ruled with commanding majorities, falling beneath that symbolic line represents more than electoral decline, it exposes weakness. Supporters hail Zuma's stance as fearless resistance, while critics condemn it as deliberate disruption. Zuma's bond with the ANC remains deeply layered, emotional, and inseparable from the party's past. Once entrenched in its leadership core, his presidency and dramatic exit left wounds that never fully closed. Even after leaving office, his reach persisted, with networks, allegiances, and unresolved resentments from his era continuing to shape internal dynamics, lending gravity to his current position. What sets this moment apart is Zuma's readiness to move beyond the norms of party solidarity. Analysts observe that his posture is no longer defensive but openly assertive. By challenging the ANC's electoral dominance, Zuma has assumed the role of a spoiler, capable of influencing outcomes not by outright victory, but by fracturing loyalty and diverting votes. In South Africa's political system, dropping below 50% carries serious consequences, reshaping coalition politics, government stability, and legislative authority. Analysts argue that Zuma is acutely aware of this reality. By focusing on that threshold, he strikes directly at the core of ANC power, compelling alliances, negotiations, and compromises that dilute centralized control. Among his followers, the narrative is framed as a response to betrayal. They claim Zuma was discarded, blamed, and politically sidelined by the very movement he helped uphold. From their perspective, this is not vengeance but a corrective measure, a recalibration of power that forces the ANC to confront its internal contradictions. Critics, however, view the approach as dangerously irresponsible, warning that undermining a dominant party without presenting a viable alternative could usher in prolonged instability. Some accuse Zuma of placing personal grievances above national welfare, transforming democratic competition into a battleground for unresolved conflicts. President Cyril Ramaphosa now faces a political minefield. While public messaging emphasizes unity and discipline, analysts believe private concern runs deep. Zuma's influence, particularly in strategically important regions, threatens to further erode voter confidence and intensify internal divisions within the ANC. His strength has always been magnified by regional loyalty, especially in areas where historical ties and allegiance remain strong. These regions may prove decisive, not through sheer numbers, but through calculated shifts that alter national outcomes. Political experts note that prolonged power struggles often blur the boundary between emotion and strategy, and Zuma's messaging reflects both the precision of an experienced strategist and the resentment of a man who feels wronged. This blend makes his actions unpredictable and especially threatening to rivals. Opposition parties are watching with mixed reactions, some sensing opportunity, others bracing for disorder. A divided ANC could create openings, but it may also complicate coalition mathematics. Zuma's involvement does not promise opposition triumph, it promises instability. For everyday citizens, this political drama only deepens disillusionment, leaving many caught between loyalty, fatigue, and disappointment. A pressing question echoes among voters: who is genuinely fighting for the people, and who is merely fighting for control? History will determine whether this episode marks a lasting transformation or a brief but dramatic chapter. What is undeniable is that Zuma has forced a national reckoning, reminding both the ANC and the country that unresolved disputes carry lasting consequences. His declaration has charged the political climate with suspense and unease. Whether seen as retaliation, resistance, or reform, its effect is unmistakable. The ANC now confronts not only an electoral threat but a profound internal reckoning, while South Africa waits to see whether this clash reshapes the nation's political destiny or further deepens its divides. Subscribe, like, and share to remain informed as this high-stakes story continues to unfold.